My whole life, I've played video games on console. But as I got older, I met more people advising that the PC experience was flat out better. For the longest time, I resisted these claims, stating things about the inconsistencies of PC game performance and how pirating was immoral. Fast forward, I've offloaded all my consoles in exchange for a high mid-tier gaming PC and a ROG Ally X. In this video, I'm going to cover my reasons for switching as well as my experience 2 months since doing the big swap. I would like to highlight that this is strictly my own opinion. I don't want to come off as someone who's putting down console gamers or trying to drive a wedge in the gaming community, but PC Master Race. My first experience as a gamer was on a PS2, and since then I've bounced around until where recently I had 5 consoles. I had a PS5, a Series X, a Nintendo Switch, a 360, and an OG Xbox. I loved the simplicity of the console experience, where you just turn it on and the game just works. It wasn't until this past year that I started feeling the constraints of console experiences with things such as lack of backwards compatibility, locked performance, paying for online play, and using less desired controllers for games that I want to play on other consoles. Not to mention there were negligible options for handheld play outside of the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation Portal, both of which I had. I would often find myself in conversations with friends where they tell me all of my qualms would disappear if I just made the switch to PC. I continuously denied these claims, coming up with counterpoints to PC, talking about things like performance inconsistency, the initial financial dive, parts being abandoned later down the line, and how mouse and keyboard wasn't quote-unquote real gaming. I'll get into that later. Another self-limiting factor was my digital library. I had over 1,000 games across the PS5, Series X, and Switch. Of course, this wasn't built in a short time span, this was over years and years of gaming. But surprisingly, I don't miss them whatsoever. In retrospect, I like console gaming a lot. There's something about the identity of a brand being shown through its UI and peripherals that just puts me back in the mind of my childhood self, coming home on a Friday afternoon to play Jak and Daxter and Project Snowblind on the PS2 all weekend. But I've since grown out of that. It amazes me how fast I acclimated to PC, as this whole process started this past December. Marvel Rivals came out and I was/am utterly hooked, but that's for another video. I wanted to be as competitive as possible, and so I installed it on my low-end pre-built gaming PC and was completely surprised at what I found. The first thing is that the game ran way better than what I was anticipating. And the second thing is that MNK is way more comfortable than I expected. When it rains, it pours, so I went to Steam, looked for some relatively cheap but somewhat taxing games, and tried them out on that rig. Once again, I was impressed. Instantly, I started scheming and plotting about how I would switch to PC, whether or not it was worth it, and what it would look like for me. Best Buy had a sale going on for all the ROG Ally models, and I was looking into and even tried the Z1 Extreme. But my father-in-law got me an Ally X for Christmas, which was a complete and total surprise. Little did he know, he tipped the scale and sent me over the edge. I began doing research on parts to find the right build for me. It went through several revisions, and with the help of some good friends, I built my PC. I'll list the build in the description below. But in this short 2-month time span, I've become competent in the PC gaming space, being able to form my own opinions based on the data being presented and being able to distinguish efficiency from overkill. In the last couple weeks, I've gotten rid of my PS5, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch, with only a 360 and OG Xbox left. This transition has been eye-opening and impressive, to say the least. Closing in on 2 months since going exclusively PC, I would just like to share a few of my thoughts and opinions. First, the duo of a desktop and handheld makes games way more digestible. I can put many hours into the JRPGs that I love so dearly, seamlessly, in the comfort of my setup or on the go. Second, games are on sale all the time. My biggest fear was losing all the games I spent time hunting for at reasonable prices or catching them on sale. I've already built my Steam library 200 plus games strong from the money that I gained off selling my consoles, with money still left over. There are plenty of sales, free games, and keys for sale from third-party sellers. The third thing I want to convey is that PC is essentially a toolbox. As soon as you have an idea of a way to play a game, you need only ask Reddit or YouTube and the solution will be there. I've already played definitive editions of games made by fans because the developers won't do it. I've played games that you'd have to pay an arm and a leg for to resellers. And I've played games from my childhood that I thought were lost to time. PC is my one true gaming experience as a gaming enthusiast. I can play almost anything at any moment in time, and I love it. There are millions of things that I could say about customization, but I'll keep it short and sweet. I can use whatever headset I want, whatever controller I want, and there are thousands of solutions for mouse and keyboard combinations. I majorly play shooters with a mouse and keyboard because the accuracy is unmatched, and I play action adventure titles and survival horror titles on a controller because that's what's most natural to me. I'll link all my peripherals in the description as well. Feel free to drop some recommendations for your favorites. My PC can handle almost anything I throw at it. I play at 1440p, so obviously I didn't feel the need for a 4090, but I'm pumping Helldivers on Ultra and getting 150 plus frames. I love seeing the memes where someone goes, PC is better than PS5 Pro. And someone asks, but is your PC better than the PS5 Pro? Because my answer is yes now. Final Fantasy VII Remake was at 120 frames at all times on my desktop, and almost locked at 60 frames at all times on my ROG Ally X. All in all, I didn't make this video to dissuade anyone from liking their consoles or persuade them to switch to PC. I made this video to detail my experience and highlight some key points that I'm not too sure many people talk about when gaming on PC. Gaming on PC is great, and if you can afford it, bring yourself to make the jump, I fully encourage it. This is the happiest I've ever been in terms of gaming, as I can play whatever I want, whenever I want. I hope you enjoyed my story, and thanks if you made it this far. I'll see you all in the next video.